Hello guys, and welcome to my Beamer. Today's video is about me giving you some tips for the winter for your BMW F20, F21. But as you'd expect, it's the same for every single car on the market. Could vary slightly, but yeah. Here we go. As you can see, in Russia, there's plenty of snow. Though it has gone down quite a lot because it's just started raining due to the temperature going up to 1 degree. But anyway, less about that and more about this, my F20, F21 1 Series. Unfortunately, I won't be taking the car out the garage today due to certain reasons. The car's okay, just so you know. But anyway, the first thing you need to think about when having a car, any car, in this kind of weather, is to have some good winter tyres. People keep moaning that the BMW 1 Series is awful in the snow, but no, it's not. If you go to my other video on my channel, See Me Drive, you will see that my 1 Series was perfect. As you can see, or I hope you can see, my car has studded tyres. In Russia, you are allowed to have studded tyres. But in places like England, you can't have studded tyres, so what you need to do then is get some good winter tyres and your car will be fine. Just don't drive stupid, basically. Also, make sure that your tyre pressures are perfect and to make sure that you have good tread. Next tip is about fuel. Make sure that you have a full tank of fuel in your car in the winter. This reduces the chances of condensation, because condensation is water, and if you get water in your fuel, your car doesn't like it and it will run rough. So make sure you have a fuel tank and use the best fuel you can. Sometimes you might have to put some stabilizers in it, but that's your choice. A good thing to do before the winter time is to actually get your car serviced, making sure that all your fluids are perfect. Winter really puts what's the word? Let's just say pressure on your fluids and that. Not physical pressure, but just makes it more tougher for the fluids to survive. What's that? Oh, that's lucky. I thought I had a dodgy wire then. But anyway, yes. Make sure that you have good fluids, because if you have bad fluids, they will really show up in the cold winter months. Next tip, washer fluid. Washer fluid is very important. Make sure that you have the correct type of fluid for your climate. I have to use washer fluid, which is rated at -30. It's best to add the winter fluid before it gets too cold suddenly. I found that out the other month. I had quite a lot of summer mix in the actual tank, and basically my washers froze up. This situation actually scared me, as I was driving down the road on a nice sunny day, but it was -20, and a lorry drove past me and sprayed my windscreen, and I tried washing off the fluids and it didn't come out, and basically all the soot off the roads went across my windscreen and I couldn't see anything at all. And what I had to do was try and find a safe place to pull over to try and get some snow to put over my windscreen, and yeah, I had to do that a few times on the course of driving to a certain location. So make sure that you have good quality windscreen washer in your car, and make sure it's not frozen up before you leave your house. What I have to do is, if you get stuck, is I have to try and get the car to an underground car park to try and melt the car out. Also, don't use any old washer fluid. Some washer fluids that I have used in the past, due to me not being able to read Russian much, have confused the car's washer system. So basically what I did was filled up the car with some washer fluid, just any old washer fluid, and the car told me I had no washer fluid at all, which is a pain. So basically when the car thinks it's low on windscreen fluid, it will give you a message and it will stop the rear wiper from working, which is not ideal. Next one is the cooling system. I will try and put a video together later on about the weak points of the F20's cooling system. As you may know, it's not the strongest point of the F20 if you don't keep on top of its maintenance. And to be honest, the cooling system in general on BMW, since I remember, isn't BMW's strongest point. I don't know why, but I've been lucky with it over the years. Basically, you need to inspect for signs of coolant leak, which when dry it will show as a chalky residue. Some leaks only happen when the system is under pressure. So that's why you really need to look for some sort of like chalky residue where the water has dried, as you can't always see it. Also, you can buy a cheap coolant tester or antifreeze tester, the same thing. It's basically a long tube with balls inside, and what you do is you suck up the fluid when it's cold, and these balls float at different heights, and it basically tells you the strength of the fluid to let you know if it's any good or not. If you put too much water in it, it will let you know, and don't just add water to your system if you live in somewhere like Russia, because it will freeze up. And also, if you add water to the system, if you live in a place like, I don't know, Africa, somewhere very hot, it will reduce the boiling point, which will mess up your engine too. So just always use the correct stuff for your car. I only use BMW fluids since I used to get the Helford stuff back in England, and that was awful. And yeah, just stay with BMW or look for a recommended brand. The next important thing, which people underrate, is the battery. Make sure that you have a strong battery throughout the year. In the winter time, it will really show up its faults. Just like the battery on your iPhone or camera, when it's cold, the battery dries much quicker. If your battery is weak, apart from it not being able to start much, it will also start throwing up error codes in the car, making you think that you have loads and loads of issues, which you don't. Lights. Lights are extremely important too. Don't forget, they help you see where you're going, and also they help you to be seen as well. Make sure that your lights, front and rear, are clear, because when they get dirty, they also stop you from being able to see where you're going. And yeah, obviously you can't be seen. Check your lights at the back, check your indicators. Yeah, just check every single light on the car on the outside. It's amazing how many Russians don't actually use their lights. They rely on these auto lights, and you're driving down the motorway at night time and they've got their rear lights on, but their front lights are turned off, and it's quite scary. It's best to actually carry some spares as well, because in the winter, that's when your lights are more likely to go due to the stresses to go through due to the temperature changes. That's why most of my videos on changing the light bulbs are in the winter time. Next important thing are the wipers. Remember to make sure that your wipers are in great condition before winter, as they will be used often and will perform awful when the real winter happens. In the winter months, the wipers will start showing their true colours, because in the summer, the only time you really need to use your wipers if it starts raining lightly, or if a big bird poos on your windscreen and you need to clean it. But in the winter, you need to keep using those wipers every minute or something. Especially in Russia, you're driving down the road, as I said before, cars zooming past, big Arctics are zooming past, dirt is flying everywhere. I get through my washer fluid, a whole container of washer fluid, I would say every 2 or 3 days. I'm always keeping my windscreen clean. Yeah, so that's the winter tips that I can think of from the top of my head. If there are any other ideas you have for tips for winter, please comment down below so my viewers can actually see them too. I always tell my viewers to keep an eye on the comment section, because you guys are very, very helpful and we all are learning together. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend or week, depending whenever this video goes out. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.